INFJ video once again. Well, this time we'll try not to do some impressions, okay? And the title of this video is Husbands Are Chosen for Their Gullibility and Submissiveness. This video is kind of like a response video, but not really. It's kind of a standalone kind of video based on what Puppet Master channel did today. His video. Check out his channel if you like. And you know what he talked about was female. This world, this existence being female. Okay, and I can attest to that. And you know, you can see for yourself when they say the Earth. You know, the scientism, okay, believes that the Earth is a sphere. What else is a sphere? The ovary is a sphere, man. The ovary is a sphere. The sperm is not a sphere. You see? The sperm has a head in it and a tail in it. So it resembles like a comet, bruh. It resembles like an asteroid, bruh. Okay, like a comet or an asteroid or something like that. That's with a tail. A head and a tail, right? As above, so below. What the hell is as above, so below? I just showed you. As above, so below. What happens above in the universe or multiverse happens below. Yo grind, bruh. Yo grind, you know? Just like our generation today. The simp mangina generation today. As above, so below. The behinds are literally above. Twerking, you know, just like these nurses, okay? And so, husbands specifically, house bonds specifically, since the majority of females nowadays like to be the breadwinner, they are chosen today for their gullibility and submissiveness. Let me cite some examples. I have multiple, if not hundreds, if even thousands of examples of this. Because I am extremely observant as an INFJ, even as a kid. Okay, let me start from one of my cousin's uncle. Okay, now this guy, my cousin's uncle, you know, he's also my uncle, and you know, on my cousin's side. And keeping in mind, I'm adopted. Okay, so I'm no blood relation to these families that I'm mentioning here, because the way I grew up in is I was adopted, and you know, hey, I don't know who my parents are, and essentially the part of the Philippines I grew up in is, you know, I really don't know. I don't have any blood relative right there. Okay, and my personality is completely different from anybody. So I stick out like a sore thumb. Whenever you visit, like, you know, yada yada, my family, my quote unquote family right there, you're gonna realize, like, man, this guy's different. It's not like the people he's living with. Okay, he tends to be more relaxed and, you know, chilled out. That's the way I am in real life, and just chilled out. Okay, that's why I have a sense of humor. I mean, can't you see it in my videos? It's not just serious stuff all the time. Is you know, because life is different things. It's not just serious all the time. Oh, we gotta get this done. Gotta get this done. We, even with this COVID-19 coronavirus, okay, even with this thing, they couldn't even take it seriously, bro. Like, McDonald Trump took a freaking, you know, a golfing break. Okay, even McFauci, he took a freaking baseball break. Okay. So if this was war, they would have been dead already. Okay, if this was Iraq and Afghanistan, these idiots would have been dead already. You can't do a timeout. When I was in Iraq, you think I freaking called timeout? You think you can call timeout when you're getting blown up all over the place, getting shot at all over the place? Okay, being threatened to be beheaded all the time. You see, that stuff is real, man. Okay. So, on to the subject of this video, which is husbands are really, due to our, man, starting in the 70s, possibly even 60s even, men were purposely emasculated, okay? Emasculated, meaning their masculinity have been chopped to pieces. And you can see this with the gradual romanticism of every freaking thing. Songs, okay, are simping, okay? What are some songs from back in the day? She loves me, yeah, yeah, yeah. You see? That's just one song, bruh. I can't help falling in love with you. Well, it's gone. Well, it's gone away. Dude, I can freaking. We're gonna be here the whole day, the whole freaking night. If I'm gonna call out all the songs, okay, call out all the movies. If I call out "Get Busy Living" or "Get Busy Dying," damn right. If I call out all the freaking movies, okay, freaking Titanic. What the hell is Titanic? Simpin'. Let Rose live. Fuck Jack. I don't need Jack. Let him drown. Who the hell is Jack? You see? Where's the equality in that, bruh? Okay. So we have years upon years, starting in the even in the 40s, 50s. We got this simpin, this mangina, this kiss ass to all women. Worship women like a god. Okay, like a deity, going on around the world. It's not just in America. It's around the world. I grew up knowing this thing in the Philippines. I was brainwashed into this blue pill simp mangina world, man. I was one of them in the beginning. I was one of them, because that's the way I was raised. Okay, being raised by women, that's the way they're gonna raise you, to be a convenient simp, to be a convenient idiot. Okay, but I'm talking about toxic women. I'm not talking about normal women. So don't get offended if you're a woman watching this video. I'm just talking about toxic women. So if you're not toxic, you're not no freaking psychopath. No, you're not sociopath. Don't worry about it. Freaking click out, or if you don't want to hear what I'm about to say. But this is, because I'm sure you've experienced toxic women too. It's not just me, okay? Because women also hate toxic women, and I'm talking about toxic women specifically, okay? And so, my uncle that I was talking about, this will be a long video, but bear with me. You'll learn a lot of this, a lot in this video, because this is real life. That's the way you learn things about life, is when somebody shares their personal story, okay? And you extrapolate whatever you can out of it, okay? And that's advice that's really can help you in life. You have to deal with a freaking psychotic, freaking sociopathic person, And so my cousin's uncle decided to get married one day with his girlfriend, and this is what he told me, right? This is exactly his words. Because when I was young, I was like, inquisitive. I was like curious about things like relationships and this and that, being an INFJ, like why people do the things they do, and who is related to who and things like this, and who holds the power in, like, the freaking area where I'm living at, or something like that. Who's the big boss of these gangs or something like that, so, or groups or something like that. So I asked my uncle's uncle, my cousin's uncle. I asked my cousin's uncle, why, since I learned it in movies, right? It's like, oh, the husband goes to work and the wife, just stays, in the house and raise the children, right? That was the way we were back then, in like the 40s, the 50s, and stuff like that, right? So me, growing up in the 80s, I actually, asked my cousin's uncle, like, why is it that you're not working? You're just at home, and your wife is in Hong Kong working as a caretaker, as a maid or something, right? And here's his response. His response was, Well, she wants to do it. She wants to go to work. I don't have to go to work. And this guy is absolutely simpish and mangina every time his wife returns from Hong Kong. This guy could not even leave his house. He cannot even meet his friends. He can't even freaking gamble because the guy's a gambler. He has to bring his friends over, ask his wife that, for them to come over, and so he can gamble and drink. Okay, because both of them drink. So you see, that is just one example. Want another example? Let's do another example. Here it is, okay? Okay, one of my female cousins, okay? This one is before she got married and things like this, okay? So before she came to the States, all right? This is real life. This is real life. You learn a lot from this, okay? Even if you're a woman, you're gonna learn a lot from this. So one of my female cousins in the Philippines had a boyfriend, and she would brag about, oh, my boyfriend looks like one of the Filipino actors. He looked like this actor, John Lloyd. Oh, he's ABS-CBN, Philippine show business. Kind of when they say show business, they mean like kind of like Hollywood, like actors, actresses, or something like that. I mean, just like we do have, Hollywood here in the States, right? Actors and actresses like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt, yada yada yada. Okay, so she was bragging about, because I remember when I had a Friendster.com. Remember Friendster.com and MySpace? I was in the military, and I was one of her friends, and she was like bragging about, like, oh, she's posting like pictures about this dude, like, oh, my boyfriend looks like this Filipino actor, like John Lloyd. Oh, he's handsome. Oh, look at me. Oh, I mean, she doesn't say look at me, but she's kind of like braggy and stuff like that, So I observed that, and she was even like, when I talked to her on a chat, she was like, oh, we've been together for like 7 or 8 years. And then my female cousin happened to sign a contract to work on American territory. I think it's in an island close to like Micronesia or something like that, an island close to Guam or something like that. And she meets this US Navy guy. He was a white guy, and then I didn't hear from her for about 5 months or something like that. And then fast forward a year later, I hear from her, and they're getting married, bro. And this guy is even younger than me, bro. Okay, my female cousin is older than me. She's older, like, I think like 2 or 3 years older than me. But this guy that she trapped is, okay, this happened while she had her boyfriend, that the one that she's bragging about, okay? This happened while she had a boyfriend in the Philippines. And so I'm like, what happened to your boyfriend in the Philippines? So she's like, oh, we're not together anymore. I'm like, I just saw you guys together in the freaking picture like a week ago. I'm like, what the hell, bruh? You see what I'm saying? And this guy was like, when I was 27, the white dude from the Navy that she met was 20. I think I was like 25 back then, and this guy was like 23 or 22 years old or something. So this guy's like extremely young, And they're freaking getting married or something. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, how long have you known him? Blah blah blah. She's like, oh, like 8 months or something. What the hell, man? So she essentially trapped this dude, okay? I don't have any contacts with the dude, so I can't really talk to him at all. And well, luckily my female cousin, it's I don't know her intentions, but right now, she, I don't know, she decided to stay here. I mean, they're trapped anyway with this freaking fake pandemic thing, She got a kid with him and yada yada yada. And one or two times she visited me here, like where I live in the Ventura County, and I can tell. I mean, it's so obvious. She runs the family, bro. She's wearing the pants in the family. You know what I'm saying? It's the dude is an absolute simp, and I even tested this when I shook his hand. This guy's supposed to be an officer in the U.S. Navy. I shook his hand. His hand freaking collapsed, bro. It's like shaking a baby's hand or something. I was surprised. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I almost freaking crushed his hand or something. I thought I freaking broke his hand or something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I actually apologize because I thought I freaking broke his hand or something. I have like small hands too. You see? You see what I'm saying? It's so, you're still not contented with that? You're still not contented with that story? Let's do another one. Okay, I have so many of them. I have freaking thousands of them, bro. Man, this freaking simping generation, man. I'm telling you, it stretches way back in time, in the 40s, the 50s even, man. Okay, let's do another one, okay? Let's do another one. Okay, which one? I'm gonna decide which one, because there's so many. Freaking countless, bro. Okay, let me see. Let me see which one. Which one should I choose? Okay, my neighbor and one of my neighbors in the Philippines, because there's so many of us out there. I mean, there's so many of my neighbors out there, because when I say neighbor in the Philippines, like the houses are kind of like close together. Okay, so it's not like we are occupying the same space. I mean, there's still a yard in between, right? There's still like a barrier in between, but the thing is, the houses are so close together that you can hear people like talking, like through a wall or something like that, and everybody basically knows everybody, and everybody is mostly cool with everybody. They're friends with each other and things like this, and they're mindfully social. Pretty social compared to Americans in the Philippines. Anyway, any parts of the Philippines is mostly social, especially around the provinces. And so I lived in the province in the Philippines, and my cousin. Okay, I mean, not my cousin, my neighbor. I mean, okay, this story right here. Okay, now let me go right here. Stretch out the daggone story. Daggone story time. I said I wasn't gonna do any impressions, but I ended up doing McDonald Trump and McMorgan Freeman out there, and we're just gonna chill. Okay, we're just gonna chill today. Now we're just gonna drive around right here. You're trying to leave California. You don't want to live in a freaking expansive ass neighborhood. You just want to freaking choose. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to leave. Okay. So, my neighbor right there, right? Okay, this is what happened to him. So this guy wanted to be with a girl from another province in the Philippines, and they've been dating together. And voila! All of a sudden, her cousin who was living in the States introduced her to one of because she didn't know that he's already with a girl in the Philippines. That she introduced him back in the 90s to a old Filipino woman, older than him, way older than him, living here in California. And she went to the Philippines when I was young to meet my neighbor, okay, the guy I was about to tell you. So this woman, I think about 15 years older than him, older than this dude, went to his house, and my neighbor told me that they dated several times, but I highly doubt it that they dated several times. They just freaking negotiate some crap, oh, you're gonna go to the States. So I mean, it's kind of like that thing. So so it's kind of like the reverse courtship kind of thing. This woman in California, she's a nurse. She couldn't find any husband out here, okay, because everybody is freaking emasculated out here. So she wanted to be with a Filipino guy back in the Philippines, and picked him up, and happens to be my neighbor's cousin actually introduced her to him, and then he saw that opportunity as a hey, I can go to America, I can do this, blah blah blah. So fast forward, he left the girl that he was actually in love with, that he was together with, who was another Filipina in the province, and he married this girl. Okay, he married this girl, this older nurse that was living here in California, and she brought him here in the States. And it's absolutely clear, because this is absolutely freaking clear whenever you see them, who wears the pants in the goddamn relationship, bruh. This dude is super simp. This is one of the simpiest motherfuckers out there. You know how simp he is? How much of a mangina he is? How much emasculated he is? He will never try any food, because he's complaining about gout and things like this, gout, arthritis and things like this. That he will never try or eat any food offered to him unless his wife tells him that's good for him. So so if I give him a food, even if it's a vegetable, he'll ask his wife, bro. And this guy is older than me. This guy's in his freaking 50s or something, man. No, he's in his 40s. No, yeah, 50s. I mean, he's in his 50s. So you see what I'm saying? Close to being 60 years old. Yeah, close to being 60 years old. He's in his mid 50s, and he has to ask his wife. You see, this guy's educated. Okay, this guy understands English. Why does he have to ask his wife? I mean, didn't the doctor tell you? Okay, didn't the doctor tell him what not to eat, what to eat and what not to eat? So why does he have to ask his wife all the time? Okay, for what kind of food he's allowed to eat? I mean, I understand that she's a nurse, but god dang, you can't make a decision for yourself. It's your body, okay? It's not her body. It's your body. Take responsibility for it, okay? He already spoke to the doctor, so he should know, right? And so you see. Okay, there's another one here, another one coming. Okay, I spoke about this one way early, before YouTube deleted me, I think in my third or my fourth channel. But anyway, here this is a story. Okay, I keep them anonymous to protect their identity, of course. And this was one of my cousins here in the around my age, a little bit older than me. She grew up here in California, and she dated a guy, okay, that's living here in California, is also a Filipino and stuff like that. But what happened to her and the guy was they dated several years, like 4 or 5 years, something like that. And she got pregnant. She got pregnant by this guy, okay? And since this guy doesn't have a good job, he's a mechanic, okay? He's a mechanic here. He's a Filipino guy too, but he's a mechanic. She didn't like him at all. But I already saw her plan in place, okay? I already saw her plan in place because I've seen her talk about another guy. I heard her talk about another guy. I overheard her talk about another guy besides this guy, okay? But bear with me with the story. So what happened was, okay, they dated and she got pregnant, right? But she doesn't want to marry this guy. And then her mother, was even telling her, what? How come you don't want to marry this guy? He's, he's trying to marry you. He got you pregnant, and he's trying to marry you. Why? And she's like, oh, I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with him. But I overheard her say that, you know, that she likes a guy that was living in the city, that she knew from back then when she was a teen. She was a teenager, right? You see what I'm saying? And so what happened was this, okay? She never married the guy. She got pregnant. She got a baby from the guy, okay? Gave birth to the guy. Gave birth to the baby, okay? Can't give birth to a guy, by the way. It's, you know, we guys are too big for that, you know what I'm saying? We can't fit on that section of the anatomy. So she got gave birth to a son. Okay, she had a son, and now she ended up leaving the guy. Okay, leaving the guy who wanted to marry her. Basically the father of her son. Okay. Now she pursued. Okay. She went on to one of these Filipino American parties that they do up here in California to meet up with the guy that she thinks is the prize. Okay. Now this guy that she she wanted to be with is lined up to get his degree. Okay, lined up to get his degree in something like software or something. I mean, of course, he's gonna make more money, right, than a mechanic, right? Somebody with a degree is gonna make more money than a mechanic, right? So there you go. Okay, there you go. She freaking left this guy who she knew is gonna earn less. But you know, ooh, we're gonna be with him. Like, I don't know how the hell did she got knocked up or something, but you know, it's her decision. Okay, it's her body. They're like, oh, my body, my choice. Oh, my body, my choice. You know how it is. No freaking discipline, no brain. Everything is like, oh, fall in love. Oh, fall in love. A lot of people think you can't use logic, you can't use your smarts, you can't use your intelligence when it comes to love. I beg to differ. So you're just gonna marry a freaking psychopath? You see what I'm saying? Just because somebody's rich, you're gonna go marry the rich guy? You see? Does Melania look happy to you? Does Melania Trump look happy to you? Okay? Ponder on that. Alright? So, she left the guy and stayed with the started approaching the guy with the degree, right? And then after being with him for 3 years, yada yada, she's driving all the way up there to freaking LA all the freaking time to meet this guy. The guy finished his degree, started working, paid good. Fast forward 2 or 3 years later, I think like 3 years or something, and then they got married. Okay, and immediately after they got married, to secure this guy, to trap this guy, she had 2 kids with this guy. Okay, exactly 2 kids. Why is that? Because it shows to this guy that he is more important than the other guy. Okay, that she already have a son with. Okay, that she refused to marry just because this guy earns less. You call that love? So how the hell is that love, bruh? You see what I'm saying? And this woman told me that she loves that other guy when I was in the military. Oh, I have a boyfriend of this much years, 4 or 5 years. We've been together. Yada yada. I love this guy. Oh, yeah, but he's a freaking mechanic, and you saw somebody who earns more, who's gonna earn more money, who earns more money than you just left him. Then you really didn't love him. So you see. So how are you gonna argue with me to freaking go ahead and, oh, you can do whatever you like? Like freaking TI or something, You mean to tell me freaking I should settle for one of these hoes out here? You see what I'm saying? I mean, now are you seeing why I'm single right now? You know, America is not for straight men, man. And I'm straight, okay? I'm straight. Ain't gay. I'm not attracted to masculine women. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not hard to find somebody if you go to the Philippines or you go somewhere else, Thailand or something. Because relationships over there, you know, they're normal, bro. There's no freaking fake. There's no fakeness. Okay, there's no facade in front of you. Okay, and Winston Wu is 100% right. So how is freaking Winston Wu? How does his fat ass able to freaking find, okay, and date, you know, decent looking Russian women, decent looking Thai women, decent looking Filipino women, okay? If this guy's a loser, okay? So some people are like, oh, this guy's a loser. But how is he a loser, bruh? Like, how is he able to support the family? He even has a son with a Filipino right now, okay? So it's his choice, right? But experience is experience, man. You know, and I'm talking about toxic women. You keep in mind, you know, don't criticize me because I know women are freaking, you know, watching my videos, and I'm talking about toxic. If you're not toxic, if you're not sociopathic, you're not, you know, psychopathic, don't worry about it. Okay, don't worry about it. It does not apply to you. I'm just saying that there are women that are predatory out here. Okay, and if you've taken a psychology class, sociology class, all those, you know, liberal arts in college, you should know that by now. Okay, there is real evil, man. There is real evil in this world. It's very unfortunate, but there really is. Okay, there's people who are out there to get you. I mean, we're not gonna have freaking serial killers. We're not gonna have freaking, you know, we're not gonna have Fauci. We're not gonna have freaking, was his name freaking Dr. Burks. We're not gonna have freaking Ted Ross, freaking lying bastards. If you know, if we're not gonna have this Rona thing. If we have freaking stable people, if we have freaking stable-minded people, if we have freaking normal-minded people. You see what I'm saying? So those people are drunk with power nowadays. You see, mirroring, you know, the experiences that I showed you right now. We can mirror it to what is happening with this COVID 1984 thing, man. So it doesn't matter if you're coming from the States, coming from America, coming from Asia, okay? It doesn't matter what country you grew. You couldn't even come from Alaska. You can say you're completely ignorant mofo out there. You can be an alien from Mars. And then you watch TV, you'll be like, what the hell is this, you know? What the hell is... Why is everybody wearing freaking cover, like on the second half of this freaking quote-unquote pandemic? Why are you wearing a mask now that is not dangerous anymore? Okay, now that the virus is dying out. And I just showed you a scientific paper proving this 100%. I actually showed you two of them, two articles. Okay, you can find them here in the videos. One is an article talking about the scientific article, okay, summarizing it, saying that viruses weaken over time. Because how did we go from 14-day quarantine to 10-day quarantine? Okay, the CDC just recently revised the 14-day period of quarantine to 10 days period. So it means that the virus is weakening. Okay, it's losing genetic and protein information. Okay, genetic information, and the protein is not, the protein receptor is not able to attach to you. Okay, so you know, you can see right here, man, it's the selection. Okay, the natural selection is no longer natural selection right here. It's artificial selection whenever, you know, toxic women are choosing husbands or housebands. Okay, house bonds. They want their husbands to bond to the house, never look at anybody else. And of course, you know, they're married and this and that, and they want to keep them emasculated. They want to keep them sedated, gullible and submissive, so they can do whatever they want. And a lot of these toxic women I even see here in my part in Ventura, in my neighborhood, I see dudes coming out of their house. Okay, some random dudes coming out of their house after they just sleep with them. Okay, and then the husband comes in after the dude comes out. It's starting to become normal out there, man. So you know. So I hope you learned a lot from this video. Peace out.